Hello again, everyone. Edwin Lerner back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about Jupiter in conjunct Saturn in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects in the natal chart. They were a little bit concise. Some people may have referred to them as snappy, so what I decided to do was make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is, if you have Jupiter in conjunct Saturn in your natal chart, it could manifest in an adjustment, which is the inconjunct, may be needed between doing things, that bring happiness, which is Jupiter, and career, work-related matters, which is Saturn. Now, one or the other may be overemphasized, and the key is to find the balance and equilibrium between the two. So it could be where the things that bring you happiness and that you're enthusiastic about, which is Jupiter, you may be dominated by those activities, or you may be dominated by career work-related matters to the expense of doing things that just bring you natural happiness, joy. And so the thing is just to try to find the balance between the two, but because it's likely there may be times when one or the other may monopolize your time to the expense of the other. Now, let's say, for example, if Jupiter is in Aquarius, those things that bring you the happiness, joy, and also things that you're enthusiastic about may include altruistic, humanitarian endeavors. Maybe astrology, astronomy, computers, electronics, aviation, meteorology, innovation, new technology, as some examples. And another thing, Jupiter in conjunct Saturn in a natal chart may also be expressed in an imbalance, which is the inconjunct between activities that are associated with in-laws and foreigners, which is Jupiter, and those with the father, which is Saturn. So again, it could be where you're dominated by one or the other, or one or the other may monopolize your time. So again, it's about finding the balance, the equilibrium, the harmony with those energies. Now, let's say, as an example, if Saturn is in Capricorn, the father may be Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or simply embody the characteristics of the sign. It could be somebody that's very disciplined, structured, consistent, industrious, responsible, ambitious, but yet maybe pessimistic and cynical, as well, even depressive at times. Another thing, too, is that another way, as far as Jupiter in conjunct Saturn may manifest in the natal chart, is that the higher education, which is Jupiter, that one may receive, may either be extremely beneficial to one's livelihood, which is Saturn, or not at all. Let's say, Jupiter is in Aries as an example. Higher education interests may be associated with the military. It may be connected with carpentry, welding, arson investigation, maybe learning speech pathology, physical therapy, something with sports or athletics, as some examples. And the thing is, with Jupiter in conjunct Saturn in a natal chart, another way it may manifest could be that you may either have an exorbitant amount of optimism, which is Jupiter, in matters pertaining to your responsibilities, which is Saturn, or none whatsoever. So there can be times when there's all this optimism, exuberance, and enthusiasm with your responsibilities, and other times, you just might not hardly express anything and just kind of do it like, maybe with more of a negative attitude, or in a more of a stolid and passive, kind of manner. So, the thing is, to have that, again, that balance, and that energy, in those matters. let's say, as an example, Saturn is in Taurus. Responsibilities, maybe tied in, with banking or finance or something with music or art. It may be, connected with, Taurus-related, field or profession, whether it be carpet laying, geology, architecture, agriculture, gardening, cultivation, as some examples. Now, Saturn in Scorpio is another example. Responsibilities may be tied in, with wills or estates, shared resources, matters of support, intimate connections, dealing with a crisis situation as another example. Now, also, too, Jupiter inconjunct Saturn may also be expressed in either expressing, a tremendous amount of humor, which is Jupiter, with the father, which is older people and authority figures, which is Saturn, or there may be a lot of difficulty doing so, or you just have other reasons for not expressing it at times. Now, the thing is, let's say, Jupiter is in Taurus as an example. That could be body humor, the bathroom humor, so to speak. Jupiter in Aquarius may be more unusual, kind of humor, real spontaneous jokes which might catch people off guard, as another example. And, the thing is, too, there also may be, there either can be, career-related endeavors, which is Saturn, may be either exceptionally fortunate and lucky, which is Jupiter, or there may be no luck in doing this whatsoever for a protracted time. So you might have surges, with this aspect, where you feel like things are just going really well and you're flourishing, whatever career-related endeavor you're involved with. Then other times, that luck just may not be there, and you feel like you just gotta, work, so laboriously just to get, any kind of profit, or make any money. So, it's a lot of, when you have inconjuncts in astrology, it's a lot of vacillation and distortion of energy. So let's say, for example, if Saturn, is in Gemini, career-related endeavors may be tied in, with communications, communication field, such as writing, journalism, reporting, data or satellite communications. It could be something that involves manual dexterity, such as auto or refrigeration mechanics. And the thing is, too, there may either be too much or too little work, which is Saturn, involved in attaining prosperity, which is Jupiter. So this kind of ties in with what I was stating before, that, if you have, there can be times when you feel like you got to work so laboriously, so hard to the point of exhaustion, just to gain, just to try to get some kind of prosperity, or it could be where, things, may for a protracted period may just, feel like they're just falling into place with really not putting, forth, a tremendous amount of effort. Now, the thing is, let's say, if Jupiter is in the zodiac sign Cancer as an example, prosperity may be attained in something home or family related. It could be doing something with cooking, culinary, restaurant work, home renovation or remodeling, real estate, or home caregiving as some examples. Now, also, too, chronic issues, which is Saturn, may either have an extremely adverse effect on Jupiter-related activities, including sports, or not at all. So there can be times when you feel like, the chronic-related issues are not really impacting, a lot of, Jupiter-related activities, and you can just go on freely without, the chronic issues having, much or any effect. And other times it might really adversely affect you to the point where you feel like you can hardly do anything Jupiter-related, which can include sports. So, if Saturn is in Leo as an example, there may be chronic issues connecting, the spine, the upper back or heart, as an example. And also, too, another way Jupiter in conjunct Saturn may manifest in the natal chart is that Jupiter-related people may either have a very strong impact on, just structure in your life in general, which is Saturn, or just simply be oblivious to those matters. If you have Saturn in the zodiac sign Cancer or the fourth house as an example, you may focus on gaining structure, just simply in your home life, in your home, your family-related activities, and matters even with traditions as well. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Leonard saying stay well.